All right, pre-show shenanigans. This one is not mine. So
Yeah, it's mine. I thought you were gonna let me do it, but I'm kind of on a roll, if you want to say that. I mean, I've been doing the pre-shows, I guess, for like the last little bit here, more or less. A couple of them have been duds, i.e., whatever the fuck I had last week. That one was interesting, but Super Bowl week is upon us, and therefore Swifty week is upon us. Honestly, Taylor Swift has already taken over the week. She announced a new album. Um, she has a tour in Japan this week, and she has a Super Bowl, and she won an Emmy or whatever it's called. I don't remember. Not an Emmy. Is
real
it a
quick.
golden? Not a golden.
Grammy,
I don't remember.
Grammy.
Grammy. It's all close.
She just won her fourth ever album of the year. Now, I was doing some research, looking things up. I was like, let me see how great Taylor Swift is, because the Grammys is how the music industry quantifies your success. So I was just looking up Taylor Swift compared to like other artists. I was like, I need to find out how much, like I needed to, okay, we're comparing GOAT tracks here. Okay. Like, where is Taylor Swift on the GOAT track debate? I found out that after she won her fourth Grammy of the year last night, she is now the only artist ever to win 4 Grammy of the Everett. She just pulled her Joe Montana shit. She just won number 4. Okay. Taylor Swift, and keep in mind, she just dropped another album. This is also what I have to bring up. Okay. Taylor Swift announced her upcoming album when she won
and
not even the main Grammy, like the album of the year. That's not when she announced her next album. She announced it for like her first Grammy of the night. I'm guessing she won like 7. I don't know the exact count, but the first one she won, she then said during that speech, like, oh, by the way, I've been working on this for the past year or two. I'm dropping an album on April 19th. And like, my first thought was, Taylor Swift just announced her album, not even for the main award that she knew she was going to win. Like, the second she dropped that album, the next hour and a half till she got the award, the only thing anyone was talking about was her album. Taylor Swift, genius. Like, her marketing team, genius. The only thing anyone talked about last night at the Grammys was her. That was it. No one, there was nothing else to discuss. And I think the bigger problem here is, Everett, we, as NFL fans, Swifties, you guys are now a part of us. I think we need to question Taylor Swift's priorities leading into Super Bowl. Okay. The Super Bowl is going to be played in 6 days, Everett. Taylor Swift just went to the Grammys when she has a date with Brock Purdy next week. Okay. She needs to get,
not the Chiefs. It's her. Taylor Swift has a date with Brock Purdy.
Well, I mean, I think we both know by now that Taylor Swift is the Chiefs. Without Taylor Swift, there is no Kansas City Chiefs. Taylor Swift right now is on
here's the thing. The 49ers have the chance to do one of the funniest things.
They have a chance to do the funniest thing ever.
The funniest thing ever.
The funniest thing ever.
The funniest. So I know you're aware.
I know what you're talking about, but
I think I know you're aware of this, but if you're not, the 49ers thing that they do, like their ritual thing that they do.
Yeah, just let's take us back 2 years ago. Let's take us back.
They have a ginormous boombox that they have a permanent person designated as the boombox carrier.
That is the only thing on the job description. Carry the boombox next to Trent and Debo specifically.
Every time they walk out of the locker room, go to the field for the game to run on the field, they are walking with the boombox. Now, Grant, what song are they playing on the boombox typically?
Now, 2 years ago it was Super Gremlin. This past season, they have changed. Okay, the 49ers have evolved. They have leveled up. I do not know I'm not sure if they actually had a set song for this past season.
But the point is, it's changed. It's changed. So there's options to change.
What they can do for this now. Everett, would you like to say the full lyric of the song that is specifically,
you can do it. You've already had a targeted issue with the Swifties, so I'm gonna let you carry that.
Yeah, let's just say this. If the 49ers walk out into the Super Bowl in the Death Star to Famous by Kanye West, it's over.
Immaculate.
It's over. It's over.
That
I feel like me and Taylor might still have a connection later on. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, okay? They could play the full heel, embrace the heel, embrace it, even though the 49ers are the heroes here and the Chiefs are the villain. I mean, like, real quick, we could also discuss that chart of the
Bullshit.
2019 AFC Championship game, how almost the whole country was rooting for the Chiefs, except that little pocket in the Northeast rooting for the Patriots, and how it's completely flipped
now.
180.
You've seen The Dark Knight, haven't you?
Of course.
Of course. I mean, what the go-to line? Sometimes you see yourself become the villain. So
I was thinking more so.
Oh, not on Batman. Not on Batman. That was
I wasn't
not
even,
the line.
That's not even where I was going for. I was gonna say your favorite line from that movie. Would you like to say it for us from some character's name rhymes with the Roker? Would you like to do it? You're a person who was pretty proud of his Joker impression for a while over there, so this is the opportunity to do it.
Yeah, that was like middle school though. I don't know if I've practiced that in enough time. I gotta look at myself in the mirror and I gotta get the whole ordeal on.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say there's a lot of potential here. What the 49ers can do, they can fully embrace this heel role. I'm thinking though that if they did walk out to Famous by Kanye West, Travis Kelce might personally be on he might block in the Super Bowl. Okay. If they walk out to that, like Travis might be blocking. So you might not want to poke the bear.
You're going to put Travis on kickoff.
We have no idea how unreal Travis Kelce could be if he blocked. Like, holy shit. Have you ever thought about that?
We're going to put Travis Kelce as a gunner on punt return.
Oh yeah. No, straight. No. First man right next to the kicker. He gets that inside lane, full speed, right down the seam. All you, Trav, go for it. Head hunting. We'll take a not targeting. We'll take a unnecessary roughness.
I also want to note though. You saw that Japan's embassy or whatever, their government put out a statement regarding Taylor Swift's ability to make it back for the Super Bowl.
I heard about this. I did not read it, but
they were like, we are reassuring fans that Taylor Swift will be able to make it to the airport for her flight to make it to Las Vegas in time for the Super Bowl. And she'll be there within 24 hours before the Super Bowl starts because of the time change or something.
Good. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the one game Taylor Swift didn't show up to, they lost, right? Now they have lost games with her in attendance as well.
No.
She did not go to the Vikings game. No, nope. She did not.
And we lost that game.
Oh shit! I thought you guys won that.
No, it was close, but that was the game Justin Jefferson was very limited in because he hurt himself and then was technically still playing but wasn't playing well.
Fair enough. But
and we beat the 49ers, I think, the next week. So
yeah, and the 49ers broke the Kirk curse. So I mean, it's been a season of
technically
firsts.
There's still a Kirk curse that stands, is that no team has lost to Kirk Cousins and won the Super Bowl.
Yes, by nature the curse is still there. The curse still can be extended slightly. Very apparent. We kind of take it to the next stage.
Unfortunately, but fortunately for Kirk, is probably going to stand.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah. But I think without further ado, that might wrap up the pre-show, Everett, unless you got anything. Yeah, no, you don't have anything else. All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 193. It is Super Bowl 58 week, but we got a lot of coaching discussion to talk about today, okay? Got some college football news, got a lot of NFL news, some transitions from coaching to college, from college to the NFL and from NFL to college, both vice versa, going both ways, but a lot of discussion ever. I wanted to start off though with, a little recruiting update. I was going through, we got the Waterboy Awards coming up. All right. Football season's almost over, but don't worry guys. That means awards season is coming up. And while I was going through my list, my personal favorite award is the SMU Death Penalty NIL Cheating Award. That goes to the team that went above and beyond in acquiring foreign investment funds to pay their players and steal players from universities like Alabama. So when I was going through this list, I was just thinking about recruiting in general, recent trends, and of course, Ohio State's at the top of everyone's mind. Okay. I highly doubt you have seen it, but any Ohio State fans looking at Twitter, you can't go 7 tweets without seeing someone in the college football media talking about Ohio State and their success in every comment, just classic Ohio State buying all their players, stealing everyone with money, Texas A&M 2.0. But yeah, further on. The number one corner class of 2025. I'm going to butcher this. Naeem Offord has committed to Ohio State. He's the number one corner. He's from the state of Alabama, Everett. And I don't know this off the top of my head, but I could not tell you the last time Ohio State has landed even a 4-star player from the state of Alabama. If you are from the state of Alabama, Ohio State is not on your wish list. That is not a destination place if you're from Alabama. Ohio State just went into Alabama. Shout out Nick Saban retiring. He absolutely stuffed Kalen DeBoer in a locker, and we now have the number one corner, number one player from the state of Alabama, class of 2025. But it doesn't stop there. Shortly after, the number one safety, this was earlier today, the number one safety in the class of 2025, I'm going to butcher this as well, Fahim Delane. We are, as a community, we're going with FD right now. FD has been crystal balled to Ohio State, the number one safety, but we're not done. The number two safety in the class of Ohio State is the next target. Okay. OG Walt, Tim Walton is on the trail. We also have a crystal ball right now for the number 4 corner in the class of 2025. So we could potentially get 5 of the top 7 defensive backs for the class of 2025, which might be the most legendary recruiting run I've ever heard of in my life. And he also just got Caleb Downs to commit. So he's the cornerback coach, Tim Walton. He is technically the secondary coach, but we recently just fired our prior safety coach, Perry Eliano, in favor of Matt Guerrieri. I need to work on the pronunciation of our new safeties coach, but Tim Walton has gotten the credit in landing Caleb Downs. And right now, I think it's without question, Tim Walton is the most impactful recruiter at Ohio State today, as of Monday, February 5th, 2024. Okay. Now what Brian Hartline has done is unreal. I'm not taking away from that. I'm just pointing out, at least Brian Hartline was able to walk into a room that had Garrett Wilson in it and had Olave in it. It makes recruiting a little bit easier when you're seeing guys going off currently under him. The cornerback room, though, just going back to 2021, no idea who the hell was going to be the corner for Ohio State. Like from 2021
it's been a minute since you were like, you knew, like for certain, like this is the guy, like Denzel Ward, this is the guy. Jeff Okuda, this is the guy. My Ward,
my Lattimores, my Okudas, my Robies. It's been a while since I've had one of those
Conleys.
Guys. Yes, my Conleys. I'm never going to disrespect Gary on. I will not even disrespect Damon Arnett on this podcast. He was unreal 2019 for Ohio State. So it's been a while since we've had BIA in Columbus, but BIA is back, best in America. That DB room is loaded, stacked, unreal. And it does help that they are going up against an entire fleet of 5-star wide receivers in practice every day. So that helps too. But those are some very big recruiting news I was looking at. I just want to shout out Tim Walton. I've brought this up many times before, but this one guy, he's in the NFL, some dude named Jalen Ramsey. No idea if you ever heard of him, but he is on record saying Tim Walton is the greatest coach he's ever had in his life, greatest position coach he's ever had in his life. He says he's learned more as a player, as a human from that guy than any other DB coach he's had. So I'll take Jalen Ramsey's word. I'll go with what he has to say. I think that's a good reference point that you could turn to. So shout out Tim Walton, absolutely destroying it right now. But in other college football news, now more so in the coaching discussion, Bill O'Brien, he's doing the classic Simpsons meme. The old guy walks in, hat, puts on the cap, takes a little 2 spins, hat back on, right out the door. Okay, that's exactly what Bob the Builder just did. I will shout out Bill O'Brien, though. He did get Julian Saint to come to Ohio State. Like Julian Saint committed to Alabama years ago because Bill O'Brien was OC. He stayed committed there, even though Bill O'Brien left for the
So are you not concerned that Julian Saint is not going to decommit?
Well, the only reason he was allowed to leave Alabama was because of that 30-day window. The only reason that opened is because Nick Saban left. That can only happen if your head coach leaves.
But
so
isn't there a
Julian
second?
Saint's not allowed.
There's a second window.
The transfer window is not open right now. He could leave
but I'm
spring.
saying that's what I'm saying.
In theory,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't think Julian Saint wants to go to Boston College.
I'm not saying that. But I'm saying he might. But I'm not saying
really
that,
love Bill O'Brien. He might really love him.
But I'm not saying him going to Boston College. But I am saying like, okay, what if he goes to Georgia? What if he goes to Texas A&M? What if he goes to Miami with Cam Ward? What if he goes to FSU? What if he goes to like I'm just thinking places that would pay a lot of money or very good programs.
Well, I have no idea exactly what went into his recruiting process because, like, the second he entered the portal, it seemed like Ohio State was like the only team he was looking at. So I don't exactly know. I don't know how his initial recruitment went down exactly. It seemed to me like he was inked in at Alabama for a while. Like he was a Bill O'Brien Alabama commit, so he had been committed for a while. I think, though, Julian Sand could end up leaving. I don't think a player of Julian Sand's caliber would go to Boston College right now.
No,
he could though. But yeah, I mean, Bill O'Brien, it's looking like he's going
to Colorado.
Sit behind Shador. Hey, you could learn a thing or two from Shador.
They're gonna need a quarterback pretty soon.
I won't lie, probably more from him than Will Howard. So
I'll be honest. I think Will Howard might lose this job. So depending on how good they are.
Salsa. That's another thing Julian's saying. Like your competition's Will Howard. So I mean,
it's not a high bar. It's
that's your team.
A high bar.
So
not a high bar.
Yeah. No, you got another point there. But in terms of moving down the line, Bill O'Brien, apparently there's a 5-year, $22 million offer on the table for him to become Boston College's head coach.
He really gets to live out his GM dreams from Texas there.
Exactly. He gets to live it all out. Okay. And I'd say we can just say it. He's going to take that job. He'll be the Boston College head coach. If that happens, now I haven't exactly dove into this too hard, but a name immediately off the top of my head is Chip Kelly. I can see Chip Kelly becoming the Ohio State offensive coordinator.
Isn't he still the head coach of UCLA though?
So as of today, he is the UCLA head coach. However, him and the AD at UCLA have had a lot of disputes over the recent.
Yeah, well, he originally was supposed to be fired at the end of the year, but then they were like,
the USC game. We're going to shit on USC, and they were like, wait,
we're gonna keep
this might look weird if we fire him after we just destroyed USC. So let's think twice about this one. But Chip
that'd
Kelly,
be even funnier though. It'd suck even worse for USC if you just like lost to the dude that got fired.
Yeah, no, I know that would have been an awful look. Like, but Chip, I can really see him taking that Ohio State OC job. Ryan Day was his quarterback, I believe at Delaware. I believe it was Delaware where they were together, or New Hampshire, one of those fucking small states up in the Northeast.
Oh my God, I know exactly who's going to be the next Ohio State OC. I know exactly who it's going to be. It is a former NFL offensive coordinator.
Okay.
Don't say
Yerrick Yenemy. Don't say it. Don't say it. I'm not sure if Ryan Day has ever met the guy, but don't say it. Don't say it.
Matt Canada.
Oh, jeez. Holy shit. Whoa. God. Next thing you know, Alex Grinch is the new offensive coordinator of Ohio State. Okay. That would be great one. It's a good joke.
Yeah, I got you.
We have a little bit of comedy.
We have some fun here. We have some fun here.
I will just say though, Matt,
funny guy.
I had to modify one of our lists to go from just college coaches that NFL coaches are now involved. Okay. I had Matt Canada needed to be a nomination, and so did Brandon Staley. Okay. Like they had to be nominees for something. I slightly modified the rules. I'm just saying though, right now, according to our voters, it's looking like Alex Grinch is going to be a 2-time winner. All I gotta say, and that's just based off the initial polls that I've seen. That's just all I gotta say.
I thought you weren't supposed to see those yet.
This year we have changed things. We're gonna have so many votes this year. Unnamed intern can't do it on his own. He calling for backup. So if anything, blame him for being lazy. If anything, but yeah, there are some more coaching transitions, changes that happen in the NFL, which a little bit more significant than Bob the Builder going to Boston College, I would say. Even I could admit that as an Ohio State guy, but let's go on to some of the bigger things first. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. We did confirm last Thursday the new, all the vacant head coaching positions, or did Mike
are now
McDonald
full.
Just get it over the weekend?
He just got Seattle. He technically We knew it. Like I had said that was going to be the last spot, and I think Dan Quinn technically was like the very last one.
Yeah, technically.
Um, because I remember I reported that right at the end of the episode. I was like, oh, there's like heavy reports saying Dan Quinn's going to be the next head coach, and then he got signed the next day. So,
yeah. So let's start off with coaching moves. So that Seattle one. My first initial thought, seeing that Seattle move, Mike McDaniel getting it. Now I'm going from the Ohio State perspective, but the University of Michigan now has 3 coaches become NFL head coaches. Coordinators for them over the past 3 seasons are now NFL head coaches.
Was McDonald a Michigan coordinator?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he was one of the guys who came over from the Ravens to Michigan. Now Mike McDonald was replaced by Jesse Minter, who I'm deathly afraid of. He's now the Chargers DC. But Mike McDonald was the Michigan DC in 2021. He left the Ravens in 2020 as their linebackers coach to become DC of Michigan after 1 year there. Hired right back to Ravens. John Harbaugh was like, all right, you did your training, you passed it off. All right, you're DC. Good with me. So Mike McDonald, I just that Michigan staff, and realistically, it's more so the Harbaugh staff because all those coaches came from John Harbaugh,
including his son.
Well, Jay Harbaugh, real quick. Jay Harbaugh now is heavily rumored he was going to become the Chargers special team coach. I also just think, in my opinion, I'll seeing Bill Belichick's son, Steve Belichick, the mullet god himself, becoming the Washington defensive coordinator. When I look at a Bill Belichick, okay, when I look at, holy shit.
Sean McVay. Sean McVay has a kid.
Well, sure. Okay, we'll lump him in there too. But when I look at Harbaugh, Belichick, those guys, they're both older guys, okay? Bill's in his 70s. Harbaugh's, I believe, just turned 60. Like, they have grown men kids who are adults, like have their own careers. And those two guys don't seem like the type of guys who want to send their kids the message like, yeah, I mean, you can live off daddy's 18 mil Chargers paycheck. Like, you're chilling. You don't need to work. I think Bill, when he was interviewing for a head coaching position, I think the number one priority was my son needs to be on the staff. I think if I'm a Bill Belichick now, moving forward, I think he's about done. I think right now his job is I need to make sure Steve still has a job. If I'm Harbaugh, I'm sitting here thinking like, if I jump to LA, like, well, actually, not even Harbaugh. Harbaugh's wife is like, Jim, are we sure that fuck? I already forgot. Jay has a job. Are we sure?
I think it's a lot different for the Harbaughs than it is for Belichick. Steve Belichick has been in the league long enough and was doing a good enough job as a DC where he was going to be able to land a job no matter what. He was DC for the Patriots.
Did he just get that position after Patricia dipped for the Lions?
He was like co-DC for a bit.
DB coach.
He was co-DC for a bit, and then I think he was just actual DC.
Defensive assistant 2012-2015, safeties coach 16 to 18, secondary / safeties coach 2019. He was stripped of that position the following year, demoted back to outside linebackers coach 2020 to present.
Huh. I thought he was co-DC for a little bit. Maybe not. But the difference is still Steve Belichick has been in the league for so long that I think that there's a little bit more leeway with him getting hired somewhere than it would be for Jay, who has never coached in the NFL, from my knowledge.
I will say, though, the bigger point I want to bring up is that Jay Harbaugh is not the Los Angeles Chargers special team coach. He is the Seahawks special team coach, going with Mike McDonald.
Now, good for you.
When I do the math in my head, I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, Harbaugh, okay. He sat on that news. He waited. He didn't announce it for a while. I'm thinking right now that the first phone call Harbaugh made after he got the Chargers job was like, hey, Mike, I'm hearing you're looking to get that Seattle job. Heard Vrabel's out of the talks. If you do that, remember when I gave you that opportunity to become Michigan DC a couple years ago? Yeah, I'm going to need you to do that same thing for Jay. I'm going to need you to do that same thing. Make him your special teams coach. I'm going to need that. You owe me. Like, you owe me. I got you into this place. Now you owe me. You got to return the favor. And that's what I think he did. But I'm more proud of Jim Harbaugh for saying, hey, my goal is to win a Lombardi trophy. And I know Jay Harbaugh is not going to help me get there. I know my own son's not good enough to do it. The only questionable part of Michigan's team was the special teams.
Special
the
teams.
only aspect of the team last year where you were like, fuck, what's going on? What the hell's going on? I also found out 2 years ago when Michigan was stealing Ohio State signs. There was a play that Ohio State, they ended up screwing up. They got like a punt blocked. They ran a fake punt on that play. Ohio State was running a fake punt. Michigan had no idea, or Michigan knew the fake punt was coming. They knew the fucking signs. They knew the fake punt was coming. Still, they fucked up the defense. Ohio State didn't convert it because Ohio State couldn't even pull off their own fucking fake punt. So Parker Fleming, the Ohio State special teams coach, he has been fired and relieved of his duties, okay? We're not talking about Ohio State's mishaps, okay? The fact that Michigan, Jay Harbaugh knew a fake punt was fucking coming, had it scouted out, and his team wasn't in the position to defend it despite knowing it was coming is pathetic. That is gross. That is horrific. That is fucking deplorable. Do not be on my staff. And I want to shout out Jim Harbaugh for admitting it, being like, hey, if my goal is to win a Lombardi trophy, I know Jay's not cut out for this. So I respect the shit out of Jim.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my main take. But the Redskins, the Commanders, they have hired Dan Quinn, notorious for his 28-3 collapse in the Super Bowl. Now he's been Cowboys DC. Has he been DC since then?
Since then, yes. Okay.
Now another thing,
or since whenever Mike McCarthy got hired, which might have been that same year. I really can't remember, but roughly. Regardless, Dan Quinn, he was the Legion of Boom, Seahawks DC. That's what got him the Falcons spot anyway. He's a defensive-minded guy. His defenses have always been pretty fucking good.
No. I'm like, I mean, if you just look at what the Cowboys defense is being able to do, and like, just remember, like, they didn't have Trevon Diggs this past year. Like, that's a big guy missing on the defense. So, like,
yeah, he turned Deron Bland into an 8 interception player.
Yeah, literally 5 pick sixes. Deron Bland has more touchdowns than many of your favorite wide receivers in the NFL. Okay, so just think about that. I know he has a lot more than Quentin Johnston. So like, we can just get that out of the way. I will say though, what made me way more interested is the Eric Bieniemy not being retained and Cliff Kingsbury getting that position. Okay, when I heard Cliff to the Raiders, I was like, no. Don't do it again, okay? I can't have to deal with Sean Payton, with fucking Cliff, okay? With Andy Reid. Like, no, okay? Jesse Minter has enough on his fucking plate, okay? I do not need another guy in here. So when I saw Cliff to the Commanders, that was I loved hearing that. That made me so happy hearing that. I think, though, Cliff is a guy we've talked about a lot on this podcast, obviously. You have a relationship with Cliff. That's my dog right there. But Cliff to the Commanders with Sam Howell. Can Cliff bring the Howell band back? What do we think?
Well, first, there are reports that Dan Quinn is not interested in having a rookie quarterback this year. He wants somebody who's been around.
Okay.
Because he also wants to improve the defensive guy. Reports. Once again, they're reports, so take everything with a grain of salt. And they have the number 2 pick right now. So they can get, like, look, the Commanders aren't fucking winning shit right now. It's going to be a rebuild. And that team wants to get into that rebuild. And how do you do that? You get a high pick and you fucking trade it back. And one of the teams, the reason why I heard this, one of the teams that's very interested in trading up is the Vikings. They really want to get to that 2 pick.
I want to ask you about that, but yes.
The Commanders are that team that seem to be. So you get that pick. You want to be able to get defense. Guess what? Where a prime position is trading back, because not many defensive players are going to go super early. Like Dallas Turner, you want an edge. Dallas Turner is going to go like pick 8.
So, ooh. That is actually what they should do. They sweats out the door. Chase Young. Oh my God. I love that. Dallas Turner.
Jared Verse is going to be available.
They could pass on him, but Dallas Turner.
Was it Byron Murphy? I think the guy from Texas also is available. But
I think. Well, here.
But so that's what I've heard. And because of that, I think there's a decent chance that Sam Howell might have his ass saved for one more year.
Okay.
Now what Cliff can make of that, I don't really know. But I mean, shit. If anybody's going to do anything, it's going to be Cliff. So
Okay. Yeah, I really love the Dallas Turner pick. That's just a guy that I've been very high on, specifically more
well,
so what he did
here
two
here's
seasons ago, opposite of
this
Will
is this
Anderson.
I'll tell you right now. There are two things the Vikings are going to do. Two things.
Okay.
Either they trade up and they're going to draft one of those top 3 quarterbacks in Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, or Drake May, or unless somehow one of them falls to them, or they're going to draft Dallas Turner.
I was about to say, like, assuming Daniil Hunter
or Jared Verse, depending if Dallas Turner's Daniil.
Let's say Dallas Turner.
Daniil can be brought back.
With Dallas.
Assume Daniil is back. Assume Daniil is back.
But that's a fierce pass rushing duo. Oh boy. Daniil and Dallas Turner. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Brian Flores is gonna have his pockets full with that. Oh yeah. He's gonna enjoy those blitzes.
Our D line has not been fantastic too. So that
that solves a lot of problems there. Dallas Turner is the type of guy where I feel like projected to go in like that 8 to 12 range, 8 to 11 range ish. And I feel like you are getting a stud guy, right? I like him way more than Tyree Wilson last year. I'm not even saying that to mess with the Raiders.
But Tyree Wilson was also just a fucking intangibles guy. Like nobody, his whole thing was that he was going to be a project, but people were like just so enthused with what he looked like and his size that they were like, just fucking take a shot on him.
Yeah, I mean,
Raiders did, but
when it comes like to DN shit for me, like as an Ohio State fan, like I just like to compare the monsters out of Ohio State, Joey versus Nick Bosa, and then Chase Young in there. Like, in my opinion, this isn't my opinion. We all know this is fact. Like, if you just stack the 3 of them up, like Chase Young is the most athletic, freakish out of all of them. If you just go off pure intangibles, he is the freakiest. What is the problem with that freak athleticism, though, is that he doesn't develop pass rushing football moves because he's so much more athletic than offensive tackles that he could just speed rush every single time, and they are not quick enough to stop him. Like Joey and Nick, they had to develop pass rush moves to win. Like they can't just win off pure athleticism. And like moving forward, when I look at like Dallas Turner versus Jared Verse also had a pretty disappointing season last year in terms of what we expected him to do. Dallas Turner is a much more polished football player, a much more polished edge rusher. I know edge rusher, it's kind of just see ball go, see quarterback, hit quarterback, but like there are some moves involved. It's not all pure athleticism, although in order to play DN, you need to be a freak athlete to just be there. So obviously you need to be freakishly athletic. I do think though, we got comparable guys of NFL top 15 pick prospects. Give me the guy who's the better football player. I like, remember, they have to play football, guys. Remember that. Not just the running. So
talking about freakish builds, Mike Vrabel. Yeah. So reports have come out as to why Mike Vrabel did not get his head coaching job. You like that transition?
Yeah, that was beautiful. I'll give it to you. That was really good. That was good. Yeah, talking about freak bodies.
Yeah, so reports have come out as to why Mike Vrabel did not get a head coaching job. No, it was not because he didn't interview well. No, it was not because
it had nothing to do with on-field performance. Okay,
with the product he put on the field, with his coaching ability, nothing with that.
The product that he put on the field with his brain, correct, had nothing to do with that. Nothing.
It had to do with the fact that he is just a very, very big human being.
Guy. He's just big. Now I'm looking up,
and that scared some people.
I'm looking up right now his playing measurements. Okay, when he was playing in the NFL, they got him at 6'4", 260. Okay, 6'4", 260. Everett. How big do you think the average NFL lineman is? How big? Today, in today's modern NFL.
6'2", 240.
Oh,
220.
Correction. Offensive linemen, big boys.
Oh, I thought you were talking about linebackers. I thought you were talking about linebackers. No. I thought you were talking about linebackers. That's
boys.
Linemen.
Men,
I heard
hogs.
line and heard linebackers. No. I don't know, 6'5", 360 pounds.
I was thinking like 330, 340, but yes, way bigger than Mike Vrabel's playing measurements. Okay. I'm not sure how many players would be intimidated by Vrabel, but more so immediately gain respect that that's your coach. Look at him. He played in the NFL. I mean, Wilcom.
So the issue apparently is
brags in his meetings like 25 years in the league. Like
the issue is apparently with people in the administrative roles being scared of him.
It's the administration who is deathly terrified of him. Now, I would like to see some behind the scenes footage of a meeting. Maybe
you just see somebody's eye. He walks in and you just see his eyes just.
The GM just like they finish the meeting. The GM walks out with his elbow just snapped. Like, I mean, Vrabel. I think though, ironically, like what draws me to Mike Vrabel, like what attracts me to Vrabel, and what makes me want him to be the Ohio State head coach, I guess, is the reason why NFL coaches don't want him, because he's too scary and he's mean. That's why I want him. I'm done with the Ryan Day friendship love club of love trumps all. As long as you love everyone, you win. No, only at Michigan if you love everyone, you win. At Ohio State, no, okay? At Ohio State, you better fucking get in the weight room and lift the goddamn weights if you want to win, okay? We got to go beat Georgia.
Yeah, I want to see Vrabel doing that shit. Hold on, wait a damn second. How the fuck does he not have a job when Dan Campbell has a job? You want to talk about scary builds? Fucking gruesome. Dan Campbell is a very big human being.
I don't know.
At least Mike Vrabel didn't talk about snapping kneecaps, which then, Dan Campbell actually meant that. Nobody thought he meant that literally, but he apparently Kirby Joseph took that literally, which is another fucking problem. But
I just when I look at Vrabes and I immediately heard that report, I was just like, please don't tell me Ryan Day is also afraid to call him. Like, please don't tell me it extends to Ryan too.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember if Gerard Mayo has hired a defensive coordinator yet, but if he has not, Mike Vrabel, DC.
Yeah, shit. I'm just gonna Google Mayo staff real quick.
That might come up with something you're not expecting.
DeMarcus Covington was elevated from D-line coach to DC. In-house hire. So okay. Got that one filled out. I don't know. This Vrabel thing is just very interesting to me. I was thinking like, what could Vrabel do in a year off? I was thinking Ohio State analyst, kind of like what Cliff did, but I'm just gonna assume that's not an option. I think we can confirm that we will not see Mike Vrabel on a Fox broadcasting desk this upcoming season. I think he's taking the year off. Okay, I do not see Mike Vrabel going on a talk show every Sunday. No, I cannot.
There's some options for DC still open, and I don't think he's going to take anything less than that. So
I do think for him though, he's comfortable taking a year off. Like there's going to be some openings.
Probably.
I think he's okay.
So another funny thing that's been going on with head coaches. I'll start this preference with apparently the Jets are interested in drafting the Oregon State offensive tackle with the 10th pick. Talizi Fuaga.
Okay.
That's the preference for this. Yeah, so the Jets have a mole. They have a mole problem. There is a mole inside of the organization. I don't know if you saw this, if you saw these reports, but it's gotten so bad that Robert Saleh threatened to take every staffer's phone from them to figure out who is leaking the information.
So this guy pulled that,
and this is not
who went through all the rookies' phones. Okay,
this is not the first time something's been leaked either. By the way, stuff was leaked earlier in the season.
Rodgers coming or something, or
that, but also like 2.5 weeks ago.
Give me an example of news, like injuries, like this guy's not playing.
Nathaniel Hackett is like fucking weird.
Well, that's true.
That was known. That was known, but that he's like not a good detailed oriented person. He doesn't take it like doesn't care about his job. Nathaniel Hackett's just taking strays left and right for the past 2 years. That's kind of brutal. But that shit was getting leaked, and Robert Saleh is now trying to find the fucking mole in the organization, which alone should be its own Hard Knocks. That should be its own Hard Knocks episode.
Yeah, I wonder, is there any way that this mole could possibly be a player that might
What if
want to
it's
leave?
fucking Aaron
Garrett
Rodgers?
Wilson. Oh. Yeah, Aaron too. I was thinking Garrett. I was thinking it might be Garrett.
Hold up a damn it. What if the mole is fucking Robert Saleh?
He's trying to get himself fired.
He was like, I don't want to be here anymore.
I was just thinking,
I
like,
thought I was gonna get fired after
going
this last...
into the season.
Oh my god, you know who the mole is? You know who the mole is.
Coach?
No.
Player?
Yes.
Dalvin Cook?
Zach Wilson.
I thought that. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Milf Hunter. No, what are we talking about?
That'd be the first person I'm looking at their phone. It's the first person I'm investigating.
I feel like Zach's one of those guys where if you're the IT administrator of the Jets facility,
don't let him near anything.
Zach Wilson's IP is tracked all the time. You need to know what he is doing at all times when he is connected to the Jets the Jets facility Wi-Fi. You need to be checking what he is texting and tweeting out. Like, you need to see it. All right. Like, I need to confirm what the hell those fingers type. Okay. Because it's definitely not positive. Okay. Any more coaching news? We kind of get it all.
Oh, you have more.
Okay.
Wait, you have more?
Well, I would say, do we have more? I mean, like, I have.
Oh no, I thought that you were saying that there was more coaching news.
I got one more. Greg Roman will be Chargers offense coordinator.
I'm so sorry.
I am not hyped about that. The good.
I'm so sorry.
The positive of it though, Everett, is that us Herbert stands. We have another excuse. If
I'm going to be really
honest.
honest.
We have another. So the Herbert agenda is fine.
You would think with the communication between Jim and John that there would be like, don't fucking hire.
Maybe this is now John being like, hey, now we're competing. You're now in my conference. Like, we're done here with this charity program of me giving you my assistance. We're moving on. I bet Jim called up John like, hey, taking a look at Jay as special team coach. John starts crying, laughing. He's just dying on the phone. Like, oh my, Jim, come on. This is the NFL we're talking about here. All right. National Football League. Okay. Like, we're not talking about college games. Okay, John, Jim. But yeah, it's kind of what I see. But yeah, Greg Roman will be OC.
I'm sorry for that.
Interested to see.
I hope Justin Herbert likes running.
Kellen Moore landed. Eagles OC. Eagles OC. Okay.
Eagles. Yeah.
Actually, there is one last little coaching thing that I saw that interested me. Apparently, Ben Johnson was getting ready to accept that Commanders head coaching job, and last second, when the Commanders were flying out to Detroit to meet with him to finalize it, his agent called up Washington Commanders, was like, hey, by the way, Ben's staying in Detroit. Head coach, we're out. And I saw some reactions to this saying this is not how you conduct an NFL head coaching search, and that moving forward, this could really limit his options. And I feel like I
agree with that.
When it's the head coaching position,
he also
who picks you.
He apparently did not interview well and was requesting so much more money than anybody else. Like, I'm not surprised by the fact that if the Commanders wanted to go through with it and they were willing to fucking deal with all that, awesome for them. And the fact that after that he was like, no, fuck you. You guys are basketball heads, not football heads. I'm not working for you.
Is that what it came out of Bob Myers?
No, he was like, you guys are more basketball guys and think more that you know more than you actually do. I don't want to work for you.
I love that. That is so funny.
Bob Myers, shout out to the one guy that apparently commented on TikTok and then went and commented again on our Instagram page after I said that the Seahawks were not going to hire Ben Johnson and that it was a 95% done deal to the Commanders, and then try to call me out for not responding to him again after he didn't get hired to the Commanders. Yeah, buddy. It was a done deal. That's not my fault that Ben Johnson's a fucking dude. That's not my problem.
Yeah, I mean, Ben Johnson had that shit like that like they were flying. They were PJing out to Detroit with the contract, getting ready for him to sign. And John's agent was like, yo, I don't know what the hell. We just checked private planetrackers.org. Saw you guys setting up for a Detroit trip. Whoa. I don't know what the hell you guys are thinking, but not my Ben Johnson. Maybe a different Ben Johnson, but not my guy. So yeah, those were the coaching things I saw. I wanted to go over. A little interesting.
Okay. So today marks the official start to the best weekend in sports, the best week of the best week in sports.
Yeah.
Today marks the official first day of the Waste Management PGA Open weekend.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah, nothing else going on. Nothing
Yeah.
else going on. But I am making a joke, but that it seriously is like the
So sick.
opening
I
weekend
love the
of the
waste
Waste
management.
Management Open. And to mark that, a man dove into the pond on one of the greens
Just
today.
one. Just one.
Just one.
Damn.
But
Weak
I know we were expecting
this
more.
weak crowd this year, huh?
He was shirtless though. If that,
Okay.
that
I mean,
running down the golf course.
I would say it's expected.
But to be fair, one of the most electric venues in all of golf, I would say.
I would say it's
actually entertaining to watch.
The most electric. The key word is electric.
Electric.
Okay? Not historical, not like breathtaking. Okay, not like
this ain't the Masters, all right?
We're saying this isn't golf we're talking about here. We're talking about the waste management, okay? This is a different sport, okay? So remember that, guys. Remember that. And it's also just it's in is it Phoenix, Arizona?
Phoenix.
Okay, so I just knew it was in Arizona, just a trap state in general. That's where you host it. That's where you want the waste management. A lot of things add up there. Also, just great title. The Waste Management Open.
Fantastic title. Who knew that garbage companies could sponsor?
Oh, and to have one of the most recognizable that's a PGA,
that's the
official PGA event, correct?
PGA event, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, waste management. It's an iconic event. Like that's on the bucket list. Must go.
Now, events. Talking about the actual big stake of the weekend and not Taylor Swift's concert, the secondary Taylor Swift event, the Super Bowl. Very interesting stat that I found out regarding Mahomes and Tom Brady. So a lot of people have talked about there's been a debate, okay, like where's Mahomes at right now compared to Brady? Is he better off, worse? Like, is he going to surpass Brady? Whatever, right?
We're just doing overall GOAT debate talks here.
GOAT talks. So first weird stat, Tom Brady is the reason for Patrick Mahomes' first regular season loss, first postseason loss, and first Super Bowl loss.
Wow.
Tom Brady owns all of those. The other interesting thing, is Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes matched up twice in the postseason.
That is true.
Tom Brady is 2-0 versus Patrick Mahomes all time.
That is true.
Now, if we flip those, we have Patrick Mahomes winning out the rest of the games for a singular game. If we flip those and Patrick Mahomes wins both of those Super Bowls instead of Tom Brady, they would be tied right now for Super Bowls all time.
Well, it'd be 5-4, but Mahomes about to win. So yes,
after this one, so it'd be tied, which is crazy to think about. Instead of being 7-3, it would be 5-5, and at that point, Patrick Mahomes arguably you'd be really close.
Well, let's just start off with this, okay? Brady having that 2-0 playoff record, and they went on to win Super Bowls.
Yeah. Like, instantly is advantage.
Now puts Mahomes. Now we're just talking GOAT debate. And when I mean GOAT debate, I don't mean you think logically who's the actual better player. I mean the casual man that only cares about championships. For that guy, okay? That's the debate we're talking about, okay? We're talking about the casual man that you just say who has more rings, he's the GOAT. That guy is who we're talking about. And Mahomes, I think he needs 8. For that guy
needs to offset. It needs to be offset. You can't have
Brady has those
head-to-heads. Yeah, it has to be because of the head-to-head. Even if they're tied, the tiebreaker would be that Brady fucking beat Mahomes twice and 2 different times on 2 different teams, by the way. So
now the first time it wasn't Tom Brady who beat Patrick Mahomes, it was D Ford who beat the Kansas City Chiefs. So if D Ford lines up on side, Patrick Mahomes probably going for number 4 right now. We could say
probably.
That. The Patriots, who did they play? Yeah, the Rams. Oh my! I forgot, bro. We missed out on the greatest regular season matchup in the history of NFC.
That and also Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Those were the 2 options.
Oh yeah,
those were the options.
Damn it. Oh well. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think though that debate is extremely interesting when you really break down how meaningful those 2 wins were for Tom Brady and putting him up 7-3. I mean, Mahomes needs to get to 8. for that casual guy to admit it.
Now, when we're talking about
I don't think he needs to get to 7 to be the GOAT. For me, Mahomes, if he wins 2 more, I'm ready to say it. Okay.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't think that I'm ever going. They're also different eras, and Tom Brady had way like compared to Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady really only had that level of talent 1 year that Mahomes has had essentially his for half of his career.
I'm gonna have to strong disagree here.
Well, okay, look, you have Gronk.
I think we're talking. You're thinking offensive weapons here. I think
I'm thinking offensive, right?
Okay.
You have Gronk.
I have some fun
Also,
facts.
Chiefs defense has been not to that level of Brady's defense in some of those years, but we're gonna offset Rob Gronkowski and Travis Kelce.
In his 19 years as an NFL starter, Tom Brady has had 16 top 10 NFL defenses. In Aaron Rodgers, I don't know how many years Aaron Rodgers played. I know for a fact he's only had 2 top 10 defenses.
Sucks to suck. What about Mahomes? What about Mahomes?
How many top 10 defenses has Patrick Mahomes? Why does this not show up immediately? What the heck?
Just look up Chiefs defensive rankings for the last 6 years.
That's smart.
Yeah, gotta use that brain.
Patrick Mahomes has had a top 10 defense in the NFL. Um, 2018 was his first year.
Yes, I think. I don't know.
4 of his 6 seasons as an NFL star, he has had a top 10 defense in the NFL.
All right, so I don't want to hear shit about that fucking argument between Tom. You said that Mahomes has had a top 10 defense 4 of 6 of his years, correct?
Yes.
Okay, the reaction you gave to me was just like a what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, you were saying that Mahomes has had a way more talented team than Brady, and I would disagree.
I'm thinking offensively. I'm talking about Mahomes personally as him as a player, as what he utilizes by himself. When you look at Tom Brady, we're gonna offset Gronk and Kelce, right? We're gonna just both fucking
yeah. I'm cool with that.
Right? Whatever.
No complaints from me there.
If we're gonna look at Tom Brady's weapons, we'll go 1 to 3, what they would be, right? Probably one is
now Randy Moss is technically 1, but if we're just talking Brady's
3
career, like Gronk was 1. Like Randy Moss was there for how long, you know?
But the same for Mahomes because Kelce would be 1. Like that's why I'm saying offset, right?
Okay.
I think overall outside because Randy Moss was really only good for 1 year, right? For that 1 season that he was
on the Patriots, yes.
Outside of that, so having Tyreek Hill for 4 years, having Rashee Rice, who's doing pretty well right now, having Mecole Hardman, who was good for the little bit that he was there, like having those speedsters and a different generation of offense, being that first big speed offense. I would say Patrick Mahomes, on top of just being more skilled than Brady as just an athlete,
I'm not debating that. If we're just talking throwing a football, I'm gonna give that one to Patty.
For me, because of that difference, I'm gonna slightly give the advantage to Brady. I think it is interesting though that talking about Brady always having these elite defenses and then seeing how many elite defenses Mahomes has had, nobody fucking talking about that is crazy to me.
I will say I'm kind of surprised seeing these Chiefs numbers. Now I'm just looking at points. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not looking at anything else. I'm trying to explain to myself how are the Chiefs like top 10 in defense every year, but they're like bottom half of the league in yards every single year. And I feel like I just explained my own question. Like many games, Chiefs are up very big, and other teams you're now just passing so you could eat up yards, but you need to score touchdowns so they can be going for a 4th, getting stopped. Like, I don't know. I feel like there could be something to explain that there.
I do also
this year. This is without doubt the best defense Patrick Mahomes has ever had in his career. Chiefs defense this year is fucking unreal.
I will also add just by an offensive standpoint, having Andy Reid be your head coach is a little bit better than Bill Belichick, because Bill Belichick is a manager. He's not a offensive guy. He's not just like
Yeah, I will
creating
say
the
we like to
offense.
shit on him, but like Josh McDaniels pretty fucking good offensive coordinator. We like to make fun of him.
For Tom Brady specifically, nobody else though.
Yeah. I mean, you also have to keep in mind that like Tom Brady, like Bob the Builder was his fucking offensive coordinator for a while. So like that's big, that is a big restriction and limitation.
Byron Leftwich was his other coordinator in Tampa. People forget about that too.
Yes. I feel like
no longer
we look at those two guys and I realize I can't have this conversation with you because Aaron Rodgers is not a human being in your eyes. So it's a little difficult, but the defenses that have surrounded these two guys, I mean, wow.
If you're about to
Shout
argue
out to
Aaron
GMs.
Rodgers,
Shout out.
we're ending the episode before you even say those words.
Say what? No. I'm not saying that. I think though
that to make sure
Aaron Rodgers, just as a thrower of the football, like that's the tape I would show to my kid, not Tom Brady.
That's different. That's different.
Like first Dan Marino.
No, then, you know the tape that you're showing? CJ Stroud's tape. Come on.
Oh yeah, we're starting off with the 2021 Rose Bowl game when JSN had like 370 yards.
But yeah, we're gonna do our Super Bowl predictions and everything this next episode. And unless you have anything else, I can do our offseason wish list. We can wrap up with that.
I think we are about ready to move on. One quick little, I know we'll save it mostly for the next episode, but I was thinking about this recently. Could we say that Isaiah Pacheco's the by far best running back Mahomes ever had in his career? Obviously, he's better than Clyde.
He's literally only had
rookie
Clyde.
Year Kareem.
Oh, Kareem. Like, rookie year Kareem was pretty good.
A different beast.
Very good.
And so I'm thinking that like, I think in terms of being your running back.
But to be fair,
are you saying
was Kareem the starter during Mahomes literally his rookie year? Or is Kareem the
starter? Starting season. First starting year.
I'm at this point in time is probably Pacheco.
Yeah, I think what Pacheco gives to Mahomes is just that safety valve of like 1st and 10. I know I can hand it off to Pacheco and I know he's running through a fucking wall right now. Like it's just that safety blanket knowing like, hey, he is willing to set the tone for me. He's willing to.
Yeah, people have called him a literal ankle biter. Runs like an ankle biter. I should clarify.
Yeah, I mean Isaiah Pacheco. That's one guy. I really hate that he's on the Chiefs because it's like he just brings a new element of just physicality to their team.
Don't worry. Apparently, you guys are getting Saquon. So don't know how I feel. I would much rather have drafted like Braylon Allen or something.
Oh, sign me the fuck up for Braylon Allen. And Jim Harbaugh knows better than most people. Braylon Allen is a guy. So yeah, I think Braylon Allen would make me very happy. He would make me
so
Saquon
happy. On the Texans. Bring him.
I mean, like, I don't even want to think. I don't want to think about the Chargers back next year. We'll get there when we get there. All right, let's not worry about that shit now.
You guys got to make some trades first. You got to offload some contracts.
Yeah, I guess this is the last slightly interesting thing I want to say about the Chiefs. This is the only season of Patrick Mahomes' career that he was outside the top 6 in scoring offense in the NFL. So.
Wait, that he was outside the top 6?
Top 6 in scoring offense. So year 1, they were number 1, of course. Year 2, number 5. Year 3, number 6. That was the only time he's been outside the top 5 until now. Then number 4, last year they were number 1. This year they're number 15. I'm still picking them to win. Just want to make that very clear. Even though I have thought differently over this past few days.
49ers defense has not been great this year compared to where it's been.
And they've really slowed down since Chase Young joined the team. So
not a great look for him. Okay. Detroit Lions offseason wish list. All right, here we go. Let's have some fun. Let's God damn it. All right.
Number 1, disband the organization.
Fire everybody. Okay. Number 1, report as in. Okay. Resign Graham Glasgow, Jonah Jackson, Dan Skipper, Michael Badgley, Jack McQuaid, and Josh Reynolds. Sign DJ Reader, Jadavion Clowney, and Sean Murphy Bunting. Cut Jake Funk. Tender Zonovan Knight, Craig Reynolds, Coyote. Hold on, I'm gonna need a second to pronunciate this name. Coyote Awasika, James Houston, Chase Lucas, and Shane Zylstra. And second round tender, Jerry Jacobs, and draft Cooper DeJong.
DeJong? Who?
Cooper DeJong.
Oh, I've had my own mishaps with Cooper. It is Cooper DeJean. DeJean, like a strict,
okay, let me fix that.
Exactly how
DeJean.
it's spelled.
Fucking weird. And draft Cooper DeJean.
Yeah. I learned that the hard way, calling him Cooper DeJean. That was a little French. Nope, not that.
Just a weird last name.
I'll wear that. I'll wear that.
Just a weird last name.
Been there, done that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Raiders. Your favorite.
Make Tom Brady a partial owner.
Resign Josh Jacobs, Andre James, and Bilal Nichols. Cut Hunter Renfrow. Trade Jimmy Garoppolo for a bag of peanuts. Sign David Edwards, Van Jefferson, Chidobe Awuzie, Adoree Jackson, DJ Chark, and Jerome Baker, and tender Isaiah Polamau, Jordan Meredith, and Kanai Muaga.
Yeah, I feel like with the Raiders this upcoming year, which I think now I'm.
Hold on, I fucked up that last one. I fucked up that last name. And Kanai Mauga.
Thank you for that. And sorry, Mr. Can you say it one more time? Mr.
Mauga.
Sorry, our apologies.
Yeah, my bad.
I'm not even trying to be the Chargers fan here. I'm just trying to think if I'm the Raiders next season, do I want to go for it or do I want
I don't think you can
not necessarily tank, but take what gift
I think it's going to be
now with your
competitive rebuild. That's the way that I would put it. Because
I feel like
you're going to need to have
best interest not to lock up
you're going to need to get a young quarterback. You can't sign a new guy, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo there, unless you want him to be your starter. You're going to have a young quarterback who's going to need to learn, even though Devontae Adams is going to be older. So what do you do with him? This defense and some of these other position groups are not prepared to have that January football. So, and also the AFC is way tougher than the NFC, and the AFC teams are way better. And in your division alone, you have the Chiefs, you have the Broncos who are trying to improve right now. You have the Chargers who just fucking signed Jim Harbaugh. So, what are you going to do about that? And then on top of it, you still have the Bills who are good. You have the Bengals who are going to come back. The Texans are good. The Colts are going to be good next year. There's going to be a 9-10 team race for the last two wild card spots next season.
Oh yeah, it's going to be ridiculous in the AFC.
Even if the Raiders are rebuilding, they still might be in that. And the question is going to be are you going to be this is the math you have to do. Obviously, you're going to compete, but are you going to be in a position to beat whatever those teams are? Is it going to be worth it? Because if you do the math, you're we're going to lose in the fucking divisional round. We could win this wild card game, but when we play the Chiefs, might not be good. So are you going to be willing to take that extra negative draft space to show that you're competitive, or you just want to have a good season, show improvement, and be all right, we're going to have the second stage here?
Yeah, I feel like the Raiders, they have some decisions, some choices that they can make with their draft pick, specifically at 13. I feel like for them, just seeing how their roster is constructed, Devontae's aging, I feel like it would be in their best interest to get a wide receiver early in that first or second round. I feel like there's just a lot of talent in this draft. And
it's going to be a wide receiver or a quarterback round 1 or 2, and then it's going to be flipped the other way. So either you get a wide receiver 1, you get a quarterback 2, or you get a quarterback 1, a wide receiver 2. So we'll see.
13, where do they draw the line? We're not taking a quarterback here.
If it's pick 13 and the only quarterbacks available that are first roundish are JJ, Bo Nix, and Penix, and you really want a quarterback, trade back. Because they're going to be available later in the draft, or they might be available round 2 right now. So, those are the options. If you really want to go and jump for a quarterback, then that's what I would do. Out of all those guys, maybe take a fucking risk on Penix.
Yeah.
Bo Nix might work a little bit better with that offense.
Like I'm thinking of a Raiders like they won't do it this year, but like could we see like a Miami moving off of Tua and him going to Oakland? Like could we see, or Las Vegas? Sorry, could we see Justin potentially going there? Like I'm just wondering. Like
I also think the only way that
like,
Miami kind of goes off of Tua, it's going to be the exact same situation as the Rams moving on for Jared Goff. They give him a contract extension again. Because he played kind of well and he worked the offense, and they realize, the one thing that we need to improve to win is going to be this quarterback position. They're going to trade him for a older veteran guy, and at that point in time, it's probably going to be like, I don't know who like somebody, a quarterback that hasn't won, that hasn't done shit. Funny enough, I mean, maybe in fucking 4 years, maybe it's Josh Allen.
That'd be my nightmare. Josh Allen and Mahomes and
on the Dolphins.
Jesus,
maybe. But something ish like that. Like I'm trying to think it's weird for me to process what that older generate, like Stafford being that older quarterback to Jared Goff. It's hard for me to think about who that would be compared to
Jared Goff is like about to hit. He probably is 30 already, and like
I'm trying to think about who that would be to Tua. Like who would that be? Who would that be to Tua?
Damn.
Like I'm actually kind of struggling to think about this.
I don't know. I don't know.
Like I gotta solve this before.
Mean. I didn't say it, but
I gotta solve this before we wrap up. You're trying to implode a franchise. Dak would be an option. Like Dak would probably be that guy.
Oh, I thought you were comparing him to like
no.
I'm like, I thought you're comparing I'm trying
to say like the ratio of like oldness. Like Stafford is that old generation quarterback that the Rams traded Jared Goff for. Who would that be for the Dolphins and Tua? Like Dak would, which is weird. Probably be Dak.
Yeah.
Dak would be that guy.
Yeah, it is. Damn, that is so weird. Damn.
Kyler, maybe.
I don't think he's old enough yet, but yes.
Weirdly though, like he might be one of the older guys available.
So weird.
Fuck. I honestly think that like it's them. Everybody else is really young comparatively.
I feel like there was a nice little gap maybe of quarterbacks that we just did not get any new quarterbacks.
Because they were all the older quarterbacks were
still there, and yeah. Like, I mean, if you just think about it, there's only 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL on the planet.
And like half of them arguably were just there.
Yeah, I mean, 8 years ago, I would say more than at least 14 of the NFL starters were over
Carson
30.
Wentz was projected to be MVP.
Oh, yeah, well, that too. But just in terms of our era of like franchise guys growing up all being done, like, yeah, we're in the new era. And last year also was like the strangest quarterback season ever. We had so many new starters that like
and injuries and shit.
Yeah.
But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. We post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. That's why I say that. We turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode. We post new shorts there as well. We post new TikToks every Tuesday to Sunday. That's where all these off-season wish lists will be. Not all of them will make it onto these episodes. So make sure you go check that out. Follow us there so that you can get all of them and you can see more of our content because we post exclusive content there. We post on Instagram as well. So make sure to subscribe or follow us there. We post graphics and other kind of reels and stuff there. So make sure you get all that. And we will see you guys in the next episode. The Super Bowl matchup predictor for 2024. See you guys there. Waterboys out.